Hey guys, welcome back to my art channel. So for today's video, I will be doing a quick render of an interior perspective I made of a Bohemian style condominium. So as you can see, this is a dining table perspective, and this is only a draft I made for my architecture interior subject, and the materials I used are Staedtler graphite pencils, some alcohol markers, some Unipin fine liners, and I also used some rulers and triangle scale and other stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this simple and fast sketch. So if you're interested in my art process, then keep on watching. So the first thing I did is I defined my borders using this 0.2 fine liner. So I basically just outlined my border, and for my paper I'm actually using the Canson watercolor paper, the 300 GSM one, and right now I am defining my vanishing point, which you will choose yourself, and this will ultimately determine the direction of where your lines will go. But for the vertical lines, I plan to just use straight vertical lines using a ruler. So this technique actually applies with all perspective drawings. You can have the exterior perspective and still do 1 point perspective. You can do 2 point, 3 point, or there's even like 4 point and 5 point. But for now, we will be sticking with the 1 point perspective. So as you can see, I made the glass and the door for the kitchen, and I also placed a lot of vegetation and plants on pots because my architectural interiors client is actually Golden Girls from the popular sitcom in America, and I kinda envisioned them to be like plant titas and plant lolas, ganon. Because I don't know, maybe because they're old and they want to invest on plants and other stuff. And I also put a lot of antique furniture and like porcelain figures and carpets and like storage areas for space efficiency. As you can see on my art process, I heavily rely on the vanishing point I made above the dining table, and this helps me guide my lines and the directions I draw my lines. And it will also be better if you use a T-square with the triangle stuff and a big ruler, but since this is only a sketch, this will do just fine. So as you can see, this is my final penciled output using my graphite pencil. I use the H and the 2H pencil, and for the outline I will be using a 0.1, 0.2 and a 0.05. Now let's get outlining. Now I actually kinda regretted the way I outlined this sketch I made because I noticed the lines were kinda thick and like makapal because I accidentally used a thick marker. I think this is the 0.2, and if you want a realistic one kasi realistic na render, you might wanna make the outline a little lighter para di parang mukhang SketchUp na may outline edges profile chuchu. So I recommend that you might wanna lower down the thickness of your unipin. So probably mga 0.1 na yung pinaka thick at saka 0.05 tapos 0.003 ata. Yeah, 0.03 para mas maganda and mas realistic. So now that we're done outlining, it's now time to erase the pencil mark using my kneaded eraser I bought from National Bookstore. Now, I like using the kneaded eraser because it doesn't make my paper rough. Unlike the rubber eraser, baka kasi magasgas yung paper pag paulit-ulit na in-erase using a rubber eraser. So now, we are going to color with alcohol markers. So for the window, I will be using the blue, then greens for the vegetation, and then yellow for the wall. I kinda wanted a yellow wallpaper because for Bohemian style, I wanted like a playful wallpaper and hindi lang yung plain na white. For me, Bohemian style is all about self-expression and adding a lot of things to it to your satisfaction, and I figured the wallpaper is a great way to express my client's personality. For the windows, it's important na you choose a shade of blue na hindi masyadong outstanding, like very light blue lang, and if possible nga, don't color the windows na because the windows are usually transparent naman and only the sky is the blue one. So parang in a way parang nagre-reflect lang siya. So it's important na you don't make it too dark blue. And for the greens naman, I used a color combination of various green tones like the light green and the dark green and olive green para you can have like variation and shadowing sa mga leaves and bushes. I actually super regret the color of the tablecloth mo sa dining table because it's really ugly. I don't know why. Bakit naging ganyan yung color? I also didn't know what to color the cabinet, so brown and beige na lang. But for the metals, I used gold para metallic naman and medyo may contrast sa other materials na I have. But I also enjoyed rendering the marble tile finish I made for the floor. So my professor actually already commented on this output already because I had online class just a while ago, and what he said was that masyado daw maraming mga greeneries and vegetation and it makes it look like it's a forest, especially since mahirap daw i-maintain ang mga plants, and considering na lola sila baka di nila kaya. Another comment he made is that dapat naka-center yung dining table para yun daw yung main focal point mo and not the hallway na nasa middle, which I fully agree on. So that's it for the video. This is the final output I made and I really enjoyed making this one. So yeah, that's it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.